Welcome to this very special episode of the Coaching Circle. And the topic of today is avoidance dressed as freedom, how to escape the illusion. Now, this is a really hot topic. And as always, this comes inspired by my own personal growth and the work that I've been doing with clients recently, and really just things that I've been noticing, on social media and other people's behavior, and what has really stood out to me. And this is some deep dive thinking that I've done over probably the last couple of years, but definitely just recently it's been coming in at a different level. So I really wanted to share this with you. So let me start by having you just reflect on something for a moment. Have you ever found yourself resisting doing what you know you should be doing in your business because there's part of you that wants to be free, or that you don't want to be doing what's expected of you, or that you're not doing what someone's telling you to do? Now, this is something that's quite common. I hear people have a lot of this, and often when people start building that entrepreneurial desire, it's laced with this, I don't want to be told what to do. And that's why I want to start my own business. And I can really relate to that because I've shared this numerous times before. But when I started my own business, a lot of my motivation was I don't want anyone to tell me what to do, when to do it, where to do it, how to do it. And I wanted freedom in my time, freedom in my energy, freedom in how much I was going to be paid, where I was going to work from, what I was going to do, all that kind of stuff, which was really great motivation. But the truth is that wasn't really freedom. It was avoidance wearing a very clever disguise. I was wanting to avoid whatever felt uncomfortable for me. Some of it was definitely, yes, I want to be aligned with my own morals and values and ethics. And that's definitely what motivates me now in my business. But there was definitely a time where my main motivator was avoidance. So avoidance often masquerades as freedom. Okay, so when we operate from an unconscious level of thinking, there can be this element of, I don't want to be controlled by anyone else. I'm not going to do what other people say I should do, especially not if it feels in any way uncomfortable. And usually that discomfort is that you don't want to face certain parts of yourself. And of course, when we're unconscious of these things, we project it outwards. So if the root of your mindset is driven by rebellion and resistance, that feeling that no one's going to tell me what to do, and it might be because, you had a job where you felt like you had to do things that you didn't want to do. Or as a child, you were made to do things that you didn't want to do. Maybe you had really strict parents. You might be resisting authority. And the only reason you do that is because you haven't fully integrated your own personal power and authority. This is really what I want you to get at a very deep level, because this is a pattern that will hold you back. Because if you set goals for yourself and you want to be successful in business, the moment you've set that goal, I want to be successful in business, you have automatically signed up for operating from a structure that you need to create and adhere to. But what people often think is that, oh, if I create structure, I'm losing my freedom. If I have to do things on a particular day, that's not freedom. And that kind of thinking creates this internal conflict, right? Which is very draining. And so if you set goals, but avoid the structure that brings those goals to life, or if you desire success, but you push away accountability or planning. So, for example, this might be that you procrastinate on creating systems in your business. You might avoid having a schedule, or you might be just like, oh, I wing it. That used to be a favorite saying of mine, I wing it. And that all changed when I decided that actually I wasn't winging it, that I actually have a lot of skills and knowledge and experience. And sometimes I will create more structure, just so that I deliver at a higher quality. But the other times, it's not that I'm actually winging it, it's that I unconsciously know exactly what I'm doing. So you need to know the difference between that. And without having some kind of structure in place, progress stalls. It's 100%. Like, goals will feel far away, and this cycle will keep repeating. Because if you have a goal and it's a well-formed goal and it's something that you want to create and absolutely achieve, then that's going to have it's got to be grounded in physical reality of that actual goal will be measured. And the only way that you can consistently achieve measured goals is if you have some kind of structure in place that ensures all of the things that need to happen are measured and created with predictability, so that you achieve that goal in the time that you set out to achieve it. If you're not doing that, there's no way that you can expect you're going to achieve the goals that you said that you want to create. Now, often people think that avoiding responsibility creates freedom. But what it actually does is it keeps us trapped in this stress and disorganization. Okay, so if you're not taking responsibility, if you're not creating structure in your life, you're going to constantly feel like you're behind. You're going to be busy but not productive. If you're resisting putting in proven practices from people who have succeeded before you and thinking that you don't have to do it that way, it's just not going to work, right? You're not reinventing the wheel here. There is ways that when we fully step into our power and authority, we look for ways of how we can achieve our goals and create freedom in that by having some structure. So the thing that people most need to understand about freedom is that having freedom isn't the absence of responsibility. Okay, people who have true freedom, anyone who feels like they've got true freedom and no responsibility probably doesn't have the goals that you have. Okay, they might be happy laying on a beach and doing nothing and not going anywhere, not having any house, regular food, whatever. I don't know. The moment that you set a quality of your life, there's a level of responsibility in that for you to create that. When you decide you want to have a business, there is a level of responsibility that you accept in creating that business. Now, the freedom comes from your ability to handle that responsibility and the ease in which you handle that responsibility, how efficiently you hold that responsibility and handle it. That's what puts you in control of your freedom. That's what gives you the space to be creative and take actual holidays and rest breaks and ultimately to grow. So, for example, I take regular holidays in my business. I take a couple of weeks off at Christmas. I take a couple of weeks off in the middle of the year, and then I take another week each other quarter. Now, if I didn't have structure and when I'll just wing it and see how it goes, I would never take any leave because I wouldn't be prepared for me to step out of my business for that time. I would have clients still booking in time every week. There would never be a free week for me to go and do anything or take holidays. It has to have structure in place. So the key insight here is that freedom comes from the structure that you build for yourself. This is the key thing that you really need to know, is that if you feel like, I don't want to be told what to do or when to do it, that's where you think that there is an external authority. When you realize that you're the authority of your life and you get to choose, then that means that you're the person who's in control. You're building structure that suits you. So this is the beauty of me having my own business, is that I get to choose that I have 6 weeks off a year, not 4, and I get to choose whenever they are. I don't have to put in application for leave. I don't have to do anything else because it's me who decides what's okay or not. That's freedom. I simply put the structure in place so that I can access that freedom. That's a choice that I make. So you need to have boundaries, you need to have systems and routines. Okay, none of these things are forms of control. They're the tools that you use for yourself that create space for your expansion. So it always comes back to this structure is of your design. That's what gives you the freedom. You structure it how it suits you so that it incorporates all of the things that you want that make you feel free. Okay, so this is about stepping into a higher level of thinking. True freedom requires operating at a level of thinking where responsibility and leadership are embraced. You stop seeing structure as restrictive and you recognize it as being empowering and an efficient use of your time. It's the way that you get to have control over your time. Because if you're not in control of your time, somebody else sure as hell will try to be. So the question to really reflect on here is, if I fully trusted in my own authority, how would I structure my time, my energy, and my goals? Okay, because when you step into your own power and authority, you do things because they are what you have chosen to take responsibility for. And you make it your focus to handle your responsibilities with as much ease as possible. That is freedom. And that ease only comes from doing the work that builds the neurology you need to have so that you've got capacity for the responsibilities at the level of success that you want to achieve. Because here's the thing, there is no level of business that you get to where there's no responsibility or there's no challenges. I've got clients who are at startup and they've got $0 in their business. I've got clients who, well, they've just started getting dollars in their business. Got clients that are doing 100K. I've got clients that are doing 1 million. I've got clients that are doing 20 million. Okay. The startup business has challenges of a startup level. The 100K business owners have got 100K business challenges. The $1 million businesses have $1 million challenges. It's not about that these responsibilities are just going to stack up and stack up, or that you're going to finally be rid of them because you're earning a certain amount of money. Is that you're going to build the neurology and the systems and the structure to deal with your time and energy efficiently. And that neurology, having that is going to make your responsibilities much easier for you to deal with. And you're going to realize that you have freedom because you're in control of your life. You're in control of your business. It's not that somebody else is, it's you are. And that is freedom. That is freedom. Your job is to become the person that can handle your responsibilities successfully as soon as possible. And that won't happen if you avoid them, right? You can't make change if you're avoiding what it is that you say that you want to be able to do. So what you want to be able to do to break free from avoidance is to, first of all, audit your patterns of behavior, right? Where are you avoiding structure because it feels better to stay open, right? Open to whatever you might feel like doing on the day, perhaps. And really look at where can you create one small framework. It might be a morning routine. It might be a client onboarding system. It might be re-looking at your schedule and your calendar, making sure that you're slotting in time for when you're going to do content, marketing, client sessions, your free time, when you're looking at the growth of your business, and set out that schedule so that you're taking responsibility for all of those things. You're allocating time, energy, and resources to all of the things that you're responsible for to make sure that they're getting done. And really celebrate feeling ownership over that space. Notice how handling responsibilities creates a sense of freedom. Because freedom is ultimately a state of mind. When you're not thinking about your responsibilities because you know they're all handled because you've got systems and structure, got everything covered, and they're being managed, then that is freedom. You've got freedom of mind. You've got freedom to plan your life. You've got freedom to know when you can do the things that you want to do. If you're in avoidance, and people avoid their responsibilities in all kinds of ways by running off and just ignoring their business, or spending all their time looking at their phone, or finding other busy stuff to do, right? If you're avoiding your responsibilities, what's going to happen is essentially all you're doing is ignoring them until they become urgent. And then that's something that's constantly in the back of your mind anyway. You know that these things are going to be a problem in your future. So you don't ever have true freedom. That's why you need to distract yourself. And then there's going to be a time where they come and smack you in the face. So avoidance is a very fleeting relief from what's going on in your life. Whereas when you take full ownership, you manage your responsibilities, you've got systems and structure and everything in place, that's what gives you true freedom. You don't have to think about how are things going to get done, what's coming up in the future. It's all managed. That's the freedom. That's the freedom. So really think about this deeply, like reflect on this for yourself. I really encourage you to. Where are you not owning your own power and authority? Anywhere where you feel like somebody else is telling you what to do, trying to control you, anything else, it's all a reflection back to you that you're not owning your own power and authority. So think about this in your business. Where is avoidance hiding in your business right now? What are some simple structures that could create freedom for you? And take some action today, because one of the favorite sayings that I ever heard was that if you really know something, you do it. Otherwise, it was just some interesting stuff that you heard once. And the best way to implement something is when you hear it and you get an awareness that you act on it straight away. So I highly encourage you to do that, and know that true freedom isn't found by avoiding structure. It's created by owning your authority and leading yourself to do the things that you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do them, so you get the results that you want, and that will allow you to live the life that you want.